You can have your camera on or you can have your camera off, whatever you're comfortable with.
Hello, everybody. I've met a few. I'm seeing some familiar faces as well. Hello.
Okay. Are we all in so far, Mariana? Is everyone in for a minute? Okay. So we're going to kick off because we don't want to keep you all too long on the call. So thank you for joining us today. Mariana's going to kill me because I don't have the view right. Are you recording? Is everybody okay to be recorded? Yeah, like we're just going to be answering some questions. So I am the CEO and co-founder of Outgrown and Beauty Buddy, and Faye is here with us, who is the CEO of Beauty Bulb and is the founder really of the first Beauty Bulb live. So it's very exciting for brands. So I'm going to just give you a very quick overview of what we do, and then go straight into Faye's and what this is all about meeting with the retailers. So we have a beauty squad. We have over 60,000 women across UK and Ireland in our squad, and we work with brands, and we provide different services. So we provide consumer generated content, so you can get your products into targeted hands of the consumer that you want to buy your product. And then we give you the content, and you have the rights to the content, and you can use it for ads and all different things. We also do market research really quickly and consumer perception trials. We can do them blind testing or we can do A/B testing. It's up to you. And we are now launching our industry insights. So that's very exciting. We were called on the B2B side, Powered by Beauty Buddy, but we have now changed to Outgrown. And you will be able to see that there's a platform there. So if you want to put in what you're looking for, you'll be able to see pricing and different things like that without talking to us. But we would love to talk to you if this is something that you have on the cards for 2026. So we will take some questions at the end, and you can ask either any questions, and it is going to be interactive. I am going to share after Faye talks about, I'm going to share the slides, and then we'll have a few minutes at the end, and you can ask any questions you want about the event. So Faye, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thanks, Wendy. Thank you for having me, and hello to you all. I am the founder of Beauty Bulb. For those of you that haven't heard of us, we are a 10-year-old business, and we have been supporting beauty and wellness brands with sales and stockist growth for 10 years now. We've worked with 850 brands since we launched. Predominantly, many years ago, we were helping brands in a bespoke way with new stockist acquisition, specific sales channel growth, sales and commercial strategy. But the business has evolved over the years, and post-pandemic, certainly changed post-pandemic, and we now offer different services, but everything we do at our core is around connecting beauty and wellness brands to retailers and distributors and helping them to drive growth through their chosen sales channels. Just a little bit about me, my background: I was at QVC Shopping Channel for many years. I was global sales director at Tangle Teaser, and I also worked in private equity, and then founded Beauty Bulb because I was being approached by brands like yourselves who wanted fractional support. So as I said, we've worked with many brands. Post-pandemic, we launched a site called The Brand Book, which was like a dating site for the beauty and wellness industry. We allowed brands to connect with retailers and distributors in a very streamlined virtual way. Following on from that, we then launched Beauty Bulb Live, and we've hosted 3 virtual global trade shows in the last 18 months, and the last one was in March. It was hugely successful. We had around 320 retailers join us in the one day, and then around that time we decided, because of the success of the event and because face-to-face meeting and networking seems to be like fully back to itself, and we were also getting asked daily by brands and retailers, please can you do something? And so we just felt this is the right year of the fire horse, and we've gone for it, and it's honestly been so well received. We're extremely grateful and proud of what we're building. And yeah, essentially we are now it's a global trade show being hosted in London at the Business Design Centre on October the 7th. And yes, everybody's invited. So it's for brands to showcase themselves in a very simple, streamlined and very straightforward way. And I'll come on to the details. And we were inviting our huge network of 2,000 retailers and distributors to join us. We know that 300 to 400 of them will be there on the day. So that's kind of the show in a nutshell, but it's for brands to showcase themselves to retailers, distributors, have meaningful business to business conversations. And there will also be experts there, and there'll also be people like press and investors and government bodies and basically thousands of people from the beauty industry, with a really solid number of those being from the UK as well.
Thank you so much, Faye. That is, yeah, you do a lot in the beauty industry in the UK and really well connected. Can everyone see Faye's presentation on the screen? Can you see the presentation? Oh, you can. Okay. We're just getting nods there for a minute. Hang on a second. I just...
we have got it.
Hang on now. Okay. So this... that's the way it's downloaded. So it's on the 7th of October, what day of the week is that?
That is a Wednesday, and we're thinking I will confirm the hours with everybody, but we're thinking 10 till 6 is how the show is looking in terms of timings at the moment. And it's at the Business Design Centre, which is a brilliant location. It's where the CEW awards are. And so we're really lucky to be able to be hosting the event there. And yeah, we already have 170 retailers as of today that have secured their tickets. We still have nearly 4 months to go. So we know that number's going to reach between 300 and 400 probably. About 75% of those retailers are UK based, and the other 25% are retailers and distributors from all other key beauty markets.
Yes, because I know some of the distributors and retailers from here are coming across from Ireland as well. To see what's available there and new products to bring across. Just a question that we've been getting from people is who's invited to the show? Like, can they, because obviously there's other shows, are they allowed to sell any of their products? Is it open to the public? Is it only retailers that are going to be in? And like service providers obviously as well, but it's just more so who's allowed in and who's paying for a ticket and all of that.
Okay, good question. So it's not open to the public. This is a B2B networking event, and it's not a sales-led event. So we're not inviting brands to sell products. This is a sleek, streamlined, I want to use the word sexy, if you can use that word about a trade show, but this is about people, products and connections. So brands will have a display table for to display their range, but the goal is for brands to showcase. The attendees are predominantly retailers and distributors. We also have industry experts. We also have press, media, investors, service providers, but a sizable chunk of the attendee list is retailers and distributors. And that's retailers and distributors of all shapes and sizes from all channels. We've got John Bell & Croydon, we've got Liberty, we've got Boots, Superdrug, QVC, Holland & Barrett, Just My Look. We've got all of the biggies, the Cult Beauty, Space & K, but then also we've got indies, we've got pure play online retailers, home shopping, travel retail, social selling, distributors too. So this is about brands standing in front of their pod, and you can see on the screen there, every brand is equal at our show. This was something that was really important to us. We don't want it to be about how big your budget is, basically. So all brands will be exhibiting in front of their brand pod, which is a 2x2 meter pod that, like you can see on the screen. So imagine that you are stood as a brand in front of a double page magazine spread about your business, and it's about showcasing your story, your heritage, your USPs, your stockists, your press, your awards, whatever it is that makes your brand stand out, as well as some really impactful imagery. I think the great thing to say, I think a really special thing about our show is that brands don't have to worry about the trade show headaches. So brands submit their artwork to us in the summer. We are going to print, store, ship, pot up and take down every single brand pod at the show. So brands will literally walk in with a small bag of samples on the day, on the morning. They will set up their display table and they can leave when the show closes. Following that, once the show is closed, your brand then remains on our digital platform for 3 months. And we are going to push you out to our network of 2,000 retailers and distributors. So the show doesn't end at 6 p.m. on the 7th. We're going to work really hard to get a lot of extra visibility and engagement for our brand partners throughout Q4. And there's no extra fee for that. So as you can see, the fee is £4,950. And there's a £295 fee for lead gen software, but there is nothing else to pay. And we take care of all of the logistical headache bits that would normally keep you up at night in the days before the show.
And yeah, I love the idea of you setting up the stands and the pods, and that they're all the same size no matter how big the brand is, and that you take them down, because we know ourselves that is carting things in and out and ladders and everything from being at different trade shows, not pleasant. One of the other things, I suppose, is there anything they can do as a brand before the event? Like, will they have an opportunity to connect with anybody that's coming to attend the event so they can set up? Is there meetings, or is that available?
Yes, there is. That's a really good question, Wendy. So you as brands will all be on our platform in the weeks leading up to the show. And so you will be visible to all of the retailers and distributors, and they can reach out to you to pre-schedule meetings. Equally, you can nudge each retailer once to express your interest in wanting to meet with them. They can accept that, or they can meet you on the day. That sits with them, but there is that opportunity. And then we do know there's going to be a lot of interaction during the day, just because obviously we know that that's how it works. There are around 10 retailers that have actually chosen to take their own meeting areas. So Boots, Superdrug, John Bell and Croydon, Holland and Barrett, Just My Luck, QVC, The Hot Group, Cult Beauty, Amazon. Anyway, I won't list them all, but they have got their own meeting spaces. There are then another, obviously 300 or so retailers that will be joining, and we have got meeting areas, both casual and more formal, relaxed, quiet breakout areas throughout the show. But yes, absolutely, you will be visible to the retailers and distributors. You can arrange pre-scheduled meetings, and you can also nudge them all yourselves once.
Okay, brilliant. I suppose, as well as this, for anybody who's planning, just on the questions we received, what does retail ready look like, do you think, for the brands that are to show up? Like, what would you class as retail ready?
Hey, that's a good question. The answer is different depending on what the brand is wanting. We have got startup brands who are announcing that they are launching themselves at our show. So they've never sold a unit before, but they're launching themselves. So for those brands, they will need to have a really well put together retail deck. They'll have to have samples that are ready to ship out in the days that follow, so that the retailers are receiving their products once they've met with them at their show. I think they have to have the ability to manufacture inventory, because if you get a great retailer say yes, the likelihood is you're going to be going live with that retailer anywhere between 3 and 12 months after the show. So having just that timeline in your mind, and once you've had those conversations with the retailers, getting an idea of kind of when that launch might happen, to then enable you to start kind of planning with stock. But certainly, cash flow that allows you to invest in marketing, manufacturing, and just all of the resource really that comes with launching a retailer, whether that's big or small. So definitely a retailer deck and samples. The majority of the brands that are exhibiting with us, they're already selling in some capacity, but if you're not, they're the things that I'd say that you'd need to have ready.
Okay. And you mentioned about investors. I presume the investors are very specific for the industry itself.
Yeah.
And are they actively looking to invest in beauty at the minute? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that you're right. They are beauty and wellness specific investors. So we've got obviously angel investors, VCs, private equity, Unilever will be there. Unilever Ventures. So I think they're just coming to have a look around. I think it's a really exciting room for them to be in, because there's a lot of kind of new emerging trends that are really seeing huge growth this year, and that's also, you know, kind of what's on the horizon for next year. So I think, yeah, they're absolutely coming to scope out what is happening in our industry at the minute.
And what is the difference from any other beauty show? What are you?
I think there's a few things. So I think our attendee list, I think it's really rare to see an attendee list that's this so well established and have such a variety, but also all of those major players within the first 6-7 weeks of announcing a show. I think that is really exciting for us, and it's not what we expected either. So we're really proud of it. I think our sponsors are best in class. You can see some of them on the screen there, but we also have the British Beauty Council, we have Nordic Beauty Import, we have 3PLG from the States. Like, we have a really amazing supporting network. I also think just our concept, I think the fact that it's brand equal, that everybody's on a level playing field, that it isn't about budget, it's about the people, the products, the stories, which I think is a really special way to position a trade show. And I think the energy around it is just really exciting. Like, we've got all the, you know, I feel like the beauty industry is coming together, and the UK really needed this. And so I feel like it's going to be a really exciting room filled with like the best energy on the day. I also think the virtual element, the fact that we are going to push you out to that big global network for 3 months is really unique. And I also think the price as well. I think being able to do a trade show for this fee is quite rare. And when I say, I know that shows can be done and events can be done for that fee, but I think for the reach that there will be in that room, I feel like it feels like an accessible way to do a trade show.
Yeah. And one of the things then there, I asked about how many people on the stand, but like for a stand that's 2 meters by 2 meters, but you also want the founder or whoever to be able to go and have a meeting. So just even have another person to stay at your stand while if you have a meeting or somebody wants to talk to you. I think it's really important. And also even for breaks, for like we're going for coffee or a toilet break or whatever. So the stands aren't that big, so it wouldn't be advised how many people they're saying on each stand.
Well, I would say definitely bring 2, because you're going to want to have somebody that's there at all times, somebody free to go and meet and break out. A lot of brands are bringing between 2 and 4, and that's not to have them all on the stand, because that would look a bit strange if you had 4 people on a 2x2. But I think 2 people will be on the pods for the most part, and then there will be floating members of the team that can go and see what else is going on. We do have a silent disco speaker session area where brands can watch 15-minute masterclasses, but silent disco style. That will all be available on demand after the show as well, because we know that connection and the human networking is hugely important to the brands. And then we're also having a digital education library. So lots of data and documents and how-tos will be in one place for brands to download. Again, that will be on demand after the show. And yeah, I think because there's going to be so many brilliant people from the industry there will be that opportunity just to network in those breakout areas. So I think 2 on the stand, and anybody else is welcome to come from your teams as well.
Okay, well, we pause there for a second before we go any further and just see. Hang on a second. Oh, sorry. Do you want to? This is some. Oh, you may as well finish actually your slide so I can then turn. So these are some of the retailers that are already confirmed.
Yeah, there's a handful that are already confirmed. Now, in terms of the amount of buyers, some of these retailers are bringing 1 or 2 buyers where they have, you know, a new brand intake mechanism for how they manage onboarding new brands. But for retailers like Boots or Harrods, for example, Superdrug, they are bringing the multi-category team. So there will be category specific buyers in the room, and the larger retailers are bringing multiple buyers so that they can just tackle their own categories as well.
Brilliant.
That's just some bits on our other show, so you can see some things that people said and who came to our virtual shows. But just on the retailers, one thing I should share is that we're going to give them different coloured lanyards so that you guys will know when someone's
coming to a retailer.
Yeah, that you know if you're having a chat with someone you haven't seen in ages, but you see a really great retailer walking towards you, you want to be jumping on that conversation.
Yeah. And that's just your information there. So we're going to stop sharing that screen, and I'm going to open it up to the floor for any questions that you might have, or Faye hasn't answered, or I haven't asked about it, and feedback. So just put your hand up or just speak, take yourself off mute and talk. Oh, Stephanie, go ahead.
Hi, how are you? I was just wondering, where are you in the realms of space? Like, is there a lot of the pods that have already been taken, or when do you think that they would be taken up? Type thing.
Good question. We actually have the floor plan, but it's not the most up-to-date one because we had about 20 brands join us last week. But yes, we are at about 50% capacity. So there's still lots of availability, but I do think in the next 6 to 7 weeks, that is going to fill. We've got about 14 weeks left of the show, about 12 weeks left for brands to join if we don't sell out before then. We're mixing the floor up, so we're not going to put brands next to their competitors. We don't think we need all of the fragrance and skincare and wellness and what have you all together. We're mixing it up. The venue is gorgeous, and the size that it is allows for everybody to walk the show in a day. We've got space for 222 brands, and I love that number as well. Yeah, so there's still room left. I would say if you wanted to obviously join, definitely let us know in the next week or two. We're going to start to be asking for pod artwork in August. So it just gives us some time to do all of your onboarding as well.
Yes, and sorry, can I just ask just on that? Do you know the way with shows, there's usually tier pricing as to where your stand or your pod is positioned. Do you have something like that with this, or is it a flat rate for a pod?
So it's a flat rate, so it's a brand equal show. So that because the venue is what it is, there are no kind of there's no kind of hidden away or smaller or larger areas. It's just this amazing mezzanine floor. We've got the village green as you walk into the venue for those of you that have been, and there'll be some experts. There's a free brand clinic in there, so you can come and talk to our team if there's something that you're really struggling with in the sales or commercial area. You can come and ask our team. We're going to have little Q&A sessions. There is lots of experts and associations down there, and then you walk up the stairs, and then you've got the mezzanine, and that will be full of the brands. And there's a DJ in there as well, but it's not too noisy, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Stephanie, sorry, do you want to just say what your brand is while you're on? Say what your brand is and what it does.
Yes, so I had 18 brain surgeries and meningitis and on the brain, and was taking migraines that cause paralysis. So I created a natural migraine solution, but it is a cosmetic, and I am expanding that range into self-care that actually cares.
That's incredible. Like, congratulations on your brand. And I feel like you need to do a speaker session. Like, I feel like we need to have another call on this.
Oh, thank you very much. That'd be great.
I look forward to meeting you properly. That sounds incredible.
Thank you.
Anyone else gonna have a question? Please tell us who you are and your brand if you want to share what you do.
I'm Yvonne from Merview Natural Skincare in Galway.
Hi.
We're a small independent company, and we've been trading about 5 or 6 years. And when I saw this opportunity, I thought, oh Lord, I'm just going to jump on this, whether, you know. And I thought, well, you know, the beauty business and the greater beauty industry contributes 30.4 million to the UK economy each year. That's 1.1% GDPR or something. And I thought I'd actually love a bit of this. Because, you know, we've got a really premium quality brand, but we're not great at the marketing and all that kind of stuff. It's not a really natural thing for me, but I just love formulating, and we're very ethical in our practices and the way, you know, where we source raw materials, and we're Cosmos approved and Leaping Bunny and that kind of thing. But it's just, we just want to find like the partners that kind of tick the boxes with us.
Well, very exciting.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's great that we'll have you there. It just made me think of something else, Yvonne, while you were talking, is like just trying to showcase people in different ways, because everyone does have different strengths, like you kind of just highlighted. So we are going to have different showcases. So there'll be a new to the UK showcase. There will be, we kind of haven't thought of them all, but maybe kind of the results driven brands where we can show like visuals. But we haven't announced this, but we're actually going to have a Red London bus outside the front, hopefully. And we're going to have that as a bit of a brand showcase as well. So if any of you are coming along, do ask me about the different showcase opportunities, because I think they would be nice to highlight some of you in there, especially where you've got really specific stories too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else like to ask a question? You don't have to put on your camera. Oh, there. Hi, Harley.
Hi, how you doing? Oh, it's been so informative and really nice to meet you all. I'm launching a skincare brand with a friend and ex-colleague of mine, but it's for tweens, so it's for basically the early age of personal care, where they're trying to like understand, build that confidence and knowing where to start. I'm speaking from someone who had very bad acne as a child, teenager, and was on Roaccutane, so I know the struggles personally and having to go through that and what that can affect to you. But we're really in our early stage. So when I saw this, I thought this would be great just to meet people.
Yes.
But it sounds like, Faye, you're kind of suggesting brands that are at a point where they can obviously be ready to sell by October and have the stock. So if we're at formulation stage, is that sort of, and we've got a brand concept and a name, are we too early to join in on the show or just attend?
No, definitely not. We have brands like you where
Okay.
when brands, I think before brands have actually spoken to retail, it's actually really hard to know like how to invest in your stock. So we would never recommend that. You're at that stage where as long as you've got visuals and your story and you can bring something to put on your table, whether that's a deck, whether that's an image, whether that's just some formulations, or like you can have some some bottles made and things like that.
Yeah.
As long as they can see and visualize and you can kind of speak to your brand. In reality, even if you spoke to a retailer tomorrow, the smaller retailers and some of the pure play could have you launch within 3 to 6 months, but some of the others it's going to be 6 to 12 months anyway. So this could be a really nice information gathering exercise for you, and then you'll have some really great conversations ready to then hit the ground running, and then I'm sure you'll be launching in 2027, it sounds like, with some of these guys.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much.
I do think it's very important to start the conversations early with retailers and make the connections, and then keep them up to date of where you are along your journey and how it's going. Like, that is important. So excited to hopefully see you there. Esther, sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're on mute.
So hi, my brand is Harley, and it's a tween to preteens, so 8 to 14. It's really categorizing the developing skin stage of a nice, gentle, natural start to skincare. So I've been going for a year now, and doing really well, D2C. But my question is really, I'm hesitant because I'm obviously understanding about how really getting into retail is a big cost for a business. What would benefit me going? Is it just to have, like you said, starting those early introductions? Because obviously Boots aren't just going to do an order. Superdrug, they're all the big retailers that I would love to, initially meet. Is it that would benefit me more in that sense, like having those conversations?
Yeah, I think there's a few things for you. I think number one is awareness in the industry, number one. So you just don't know. I mean, there's going to be so many influential and people that are, important to you in that room. I think the other thing is it's repetition. So even the bigger retailers especially will sometimes need to see brands a number of times and kind of see what their progress is. I think also there's so many different sales channels in that room on the 7th. So you might find like a really amazing pure play retailer, online retailer is like a really great match for you. Or you might find like a really cool indie retailer that's really in line with your story that could become like kind of a bit of a launch pad. And, once you've got sales data and traction with somebody like that, that's then a lot easier to then springboard into a conversation with a larger retailer. So I'd say retailers and the variation, awareness, but also just some really influential people. Like there might be brands that have synergy with yours, not the same space, but you have similar ingredient stories where you can do things together, whether it's like a collaboration or a pop-up, or you just never know, I think, with these kinds of places. So I would say there's lots of opportunity not just the retailers as well, although it's great obviously to get the visibility.
Yeah, it's more like, like I would say, more for me is like now emerging, like to get that visibility, to get that industry presence, really, to make those connections.
Yeah, and as Faye was saying, there's some incredible online retailers coming, so it's not necessarily when we're talking about retailers, you're thinking about putting your product on a shelf. It could be getting your product just on one of the big e-commerce websites. So, and then they're drop shipping. It's there's a few different models. So, but it is about them knowing that you exist. And I suppose that's one of the reasons we do what we do from a consumer generated content, not for the retailers, but we do it for the consumers, because people need to know, and they need to see you, and they need to see you more than once, so it is about connections, really is about the connections and a device. You're going to make great connections. Beauty industry in the UK is great, as in everyone is really helpful. And that's what I have found, being over and back so often. It's a great industry.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's a real community. It has a real community feel, and everyone is super supportive and encouraging of each other. And the other thing to say, just in terms of in the room, like distributors as well, like distributors can really transform a business. And I'm not suggesting that at early stage you should go and launch 5 new distributors, because it can require a lot, but it might just be like for some of the brands that are there, that they find that one amazing distributor that you're the missing puzzle to their portfolio, and that can transform things for you in terms of cash flow, in terms of opening a new market and several new retailers in a really short space of time. So I think it's great that we'll have those guys there as well.
Anyone else like to ask a question before we wrap things up? Someone's hand. Frederica, go ahead.
Hi there, my name is Frida. I'm founder.
Frida.
Thanks so much for the invite to the webinar. It's really cool. Very quick question. So I'm the founder of a very new niche luxury perfumery house, and it's centered around rare plants that grow only in Greece, only in Mount Olympus. And the whole idea is that I'm a scientist, and I found a scientific method to transform this to scent, but in a very environmentally friendly way. And I saw your very super impressive and amazing list of retailers, but I wanted to ask, because of some of these are super prestigious, but they are very, how can I say, more into skincare probably, or very big, less niche. Like, do you have anything that is more for fragrance, for perfume, not just beauty?
Yes, so fragrance is one of our top 3 categories at the moment. Fragrance in the UK is having a huge moment. What we're doing when we're onboarding the retailers as they secure their tickets, we're asking them for their top 5 category focuses, and fragrance is up there.
Okay, perfect. And is the price point they're flexible to high price points? Because I know some of the retailers that I saw there are a little bit more on lower price points.
No, definitely the premium fragrance market is really buoyant, and you've got obviously people like Harrods, like Selfridges, Space & K, some really Liberty, like really beautiful,
perfect.
So absolutely.
Okay, thank you. This is really amazing. Thank you so much.
I think the information team, is that Gail?
Yes, it's me. Hi, Wendy.
Hello, Gail.
Hi, Faye. I'm Gail, and I run a small little makeup cosmetics business. And I've been to the professional beauty exhibition here in Ireland. So my question, because obviously for them it was like a 3-day thing. So is this just for like a 1-day exhibition type?
Yeah, that's right. It's 1 day, but then we have the 3-month listing on our virtual platform. So the in real life event this year is 1 day. And then once the show closes in the days that follow, we then list all of the brands on our digital directory, and we will be pushing out all of our exhibitors to our big network of 2,000 global retailers and distributors to try and secure more conversations, more visibility, throughout Q4.
Okay, and another question, sorry. Because obviously I'm such a small business, and obviously the names that you're throwing out there was a little, big, like Boots and things like that. And obviously being such a small business, we don't have that much, like a great marketing budget. Like, what is the chance of them even looking our way?
I mean, you really just don't know what the focuses are of the retailers. So there's every chance. But the other thing I'd say is, even if you are a smaller brand, there are going to be a huge number of independent pharmacies, independent retailers, niche distributors, and pure play online retailers that are really specialist as well. So there really is something for everybody in terms of our sales channel mix.
I think it's very important that your unique selling point, or the unique point about your brand, is pushed to the forefront, because that's what the retailers are looking for. They're looking for something a little bit different, or a different story, or why it was built. And also how you tell that story. So a lot of it, yes, they're just going to presume at the beginning that your product does what you say it does, and then that'll be further down the line when they check it and do it. But when they meet you first, it will be about how your story is, and why you built it, and what's your unique selling point. And you're never going to match everybody. So I think you also need to do your own research. So you need to go through all the different retailers or distributors that are being listed by Faye, and go through and see who they distribute, and see if you kind of match into that kind of category or with them. So you're not wasting your time talking to people that actually aren't matched with you. So you need to do a little bit of due diligence on people attending, so you can make the most of the one day.
That's good advice, Wendy.
So I have another question.
Go ahead, Gail.
So obviously, because I am based in Ireland, so for example, I know I'm probably just like being ambitious here, but if Boots decided they wanted to, buy some of my products, is that just in the UK, or is it Boots in Ireland as well? Like, how does that work?
It really varies on brand. There isn't a one rule for that. It really depends on the product, the brand, like what their intake strategy looks like for the 18 months ahead. So I think sometimes with Boots they can do full rollout, sometimes they can do online only, sometimes they can do a hybrid, sometimes they might do a distribution test in like 30 doors or 200 doors. It's really, there's a different sliding scale with that one.
Yeah. Anyone else? I'm conscious of keeping you on your break. Any more questions before we head off? No? Okay.
I was just going to ask Wendy, like, does this sound like a fit for anybody? Like, is anybody keen to be with us?
I'm definitely keen. Yeah.
I'm definitely interested as well.
Definitely thinking.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm delighted that Faye was able to join us and talk more about the event. I'm very excited about it. I know I'm not a brand, but I work with all the brands. But I am excited for Faye and to see the event. I know it will be incredible with the people that are behind Faye and backing her, and it'll be an absolutely brilliant day. If anything you get out of it, it will be the connections and the network. And it's up to you then to continue that after that one day. It's very important. Any questions though, please feel free to email Beauty Bulb, and this will be recorded, so I will send you the recording if you want to share with any other brands that you know that might be interested in it. And please do reach out if you need any of our services as well, or you want to have a call and figure out how that works. I'm happy to do that as well. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, and I look forward to hopefully meeting you all in person the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks everybody. Bye.
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 It's gonna stop all the recordings.
Yes.
Hang on now.
Thanks, Wendy.